Hey you guys, happy Friday. I hope you guys had an amazing week. If you guys are watching the replay, always let me know in the comments with #replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here at this button and give me a thumbs up if you find any sort of value in this video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the top 4 content marketing trends you should be focusing on when creating content for social media for your business in 2020, because to be quite frank, and also hallelujah, the days of being perfect are over. So that's actually jumping the gun. That's one of my tips. But today I'm going to give you guys 4 trends that you need to focus on when creating content for your business on social media, because like I said, the days of acting perfect, needing to, pose in front of the jet with the Rolls Royce, throwing money in the air are over. So like I said, that's going to be a tip later, but today I'm going to give you guys 4 tips that you need to focus on when creating content for your business. So let's jump right in. If you guys ever have any questions watching now, replay, or YouTube, always let me know in the comments. That's why I come on live, and that's why I post it on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to add any more trends that I might have forgot, also let us all know in the comments. That's why I come on live. This is like a collaboration project. I want all of us to get better. So if you have a trend that I might have forgotten, always let me know in the comments. So the first social media content marketing trend of 2020 is live video. You guys are going to see this all over, right? TikTok is video, YouTube is video, Instagram stories, Instagram posts, etc. Okay? But more importantly, live, okay? So not only is video a trend, but it's more important that you start going on live video for a trend. So if you've never done a live video, I'll link that up here on YouTube and I'll link it below in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, my how to do your first live stream video, which is super extensive. It's super simple. It's like how you nail your first live stream out of the ballpark. Like I said, I'll link that up here on YouTube and I'll link it below in the comments. But why it's so important to be on live video in 2020, if you guys are in my Facebook group, if you're on YouTube, you guys watch a couple of my videos, you guys know that I'm bullish on live video. Why? Because it grows the know, like, and trust factor like nothing else on the internet. Why is that? Because there's no filter, right? And the best way to go on live video is to answer other people's questions, especially if you're on social media for your business. So when I come on live video, I ask you guys what you're struggling with when it comes to social media, or I give you tips like today's topic. I give you trends that are content marketing trends for 2020. So when I come on live and I mess up, I can't go back and edit it, right? I can't go on and add a facetuned filter. I can't go back and, make my waist thinner or whatever, right? Live video is exactly how you are, showing up like that. And then that is how you grow the know, like, and trust factor tenfold, because when you show up, you show people what you know by just literally pressing play and telling people what your answer is to the topic that you are talking about, okay? So the reason why that grows your following faster than just posting, static posts is because people don't know you actually know what you're talking about until you show up and you actually tell them, right? So if I were to just base my whole business off of text posts, you would kind of not trust me as much as me showing up on a live video and being like, this is my answer to A because of 1, 2, 3, 4. And you would be like, oh, Kylie knows what she's talking about because she comes on live. She doesn't use notes, etc., etc. She says what she needs to say. It's done. And if anyone has questions, they can answer in the comments. So live video is probably the #1 trend of 2020, and video. So it's live video and regular video. And you're going to see that a lot with social media networks going into 2020. They're adding live video. Not only that, they are based off of video. Like TikTok is the #1 growing social media platform going into 2020, okay? What is TikTok based off of? Video, right? LinkedIn just added a live streaming option. YouTube does live streaming. Instagram live on Instagram stories and your regular posts. All of these platforms are incorporating video because that's what keeps the most attention, okay? A text post can only keep attention long enough if your story is captivating enough on its own with written word. But when people press play on the video and you have an answer to somebody's problem, they are more likely to watch the whole video than they will than just like reading this like 80-page long novel, okay? So the first content marketing trend that you guys need to start incorporating with your business, that's another thing too. All the trends that I'm telling you are trends for a reason. It's because they maximize the growth of your following, okay? Especially going into 2020. So if I'm telling you it's a trend, it's something that you need to start incorporating with your business, okay? So the first tip was live video. The second tip that I have for you is contextualized messaging, okay? This isn't quantum physics yet. So like I always say, social media is not rocket science, okay? Bear with me. Contextualized messaging. Now you're like, Kylie, what does contextualized messaging mean? Like I don't even understand what that means, okay? What that means is that you are gonna start creating content for each platform based on the end user psychology of the people watching or reading on that platform. Okay, let me give you an example. So when people go onto LinkedIn, they're going on with a business mind, okay? LinkedIn is for business. So when you go and you write content for LinkedIn, you wanna make sure that you're keeping the fears, limiting beliefs all in the back of your mind of the people that are already on LinkedIn. Okay, people on LinkedIn want to know how to grow their business, how to make more profits, how to make more sales, also how to use social media or how to incorporate your business onto LinkedIn, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to create one piece of content and never edit it while you're sharing it around to other platforms, okay? So you definitely want to repurpose your content. I talk about that in, I think it was actually the last video, how to repurpose your content. I'll link that up here on YouTube. But you want to start repurposing your content for sure in 2020. But when you are repurposing content, make sure you're contextualizing the messaging to the end user psychology on the platform you are repurposing on. Okay, I want you to write that down and I'm going to say it again. I want you to contextualize the messaging to the end user psychology of the end user on that platform. So what that means in a nutshell, in kind of like a for dummies version, is you won't post like a video onto a podcast, right? But you'll post the audio clipping from the video onto a podcast. So just make sure that you're reformatting or rewording the content. That's your like biggest long form piece of content. Like I said, I already linked that in that video. I'll teach you how to repurpose your content. But you want to take the longest form piece of content, but as you're sharing it around, you want to make sure that you're editing that content to contextualize the message, because the problem is that if you're or the end user on that platform doesn't feel like you're talking to them, they're going to tune out. They're going to be like, this isn't for me. This message is not for me. Like, I don't know what Kylie's talking about. This doesn't make sense. When in reality, what you are saying probably does make sense. You just didn't switch the messaging to correlate to the end user psychology on that platform, okay? So in a nutshell, contextualized messaging is just when you change your messaging so the people on that platform can relate to your message, okay? If you guys have any questions about this, let me know in the comments. So the first one was live video for trends. The second one was contextualized messaging. So just changing your messaging so it matches the person that's reading or ingesting or watching your message so they feel like you're talking to them, okay? So the third social media content marketing trend of 2020 is to start sharing your personal stories and to stop being perfect. So I know I kind of like jumped the gun in the beginning of the video, but what I was saying earlier was like the days of Facetune, skinny waist, like the waist slimmers, or like, posting with the money in your pictures, or the Rolls Royce, or the private jet, or thinking that you need to be all of these things, like perfect straight teeth, 0% body fat, I don't know, like a supermodel or whatever, right? All of those days are over. And what is going to win in 2020 is the most realistic content. Okay, so what I don't want you guys to think or do is take this to the extremes. I don't want you guys sitting there thinking where it's like, okay, like I need to be more realistic, so I need to share, the scariest thing that I've ever been through in my life, or like the worst breakup story in my life, or like, you don't have to take it to the most extreme thing. Just start with sharing micro stories about yourself that are relatable to your business. Because another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go and just like start rambling on about all of your personal stories. Like, you're going to get likes and comments on that, but then people are going to forget that you're posting for your business, right? So make sure you find a way to relate your personal stories with your business. But the days of perfect content are over, okay? Which kind of ties in to the live video, which was the number one trend that I had for 2020. Because if you show up on live video, I think live video is my number one favorite way to create content for social media. Because like I already linked in my repurposing content video, all I have to do is show up live and I can pull bits and pieces out of live video. One, right after the video is over. Two, I don't have to edit the video at all, but I'm still posting it over to YouTube. And three, people can ask me questions live and then I can see what they need help with. I can answer their questions. And then not only that, I can see what they loved. So what do I do with that information? I repurpose that content as well and push it over onto my other social media platforms. So that's why I really love live video, but also that's why I love showing up on, I guess what I was going to say was love showing up on live. See, I still mess up. And that's another thing too. It shows your authenticity, it shows your realness, and it shows that you aren't this perfect cardboard piece of paper with like facetuned Kim Kardashian with the Oprah Winfrey copy, whatever, like this perfect version of something that you're actually not, okay? Like I said in one of my other live stream videos, like if you walked into this sliding glass door, this is exactly what I would look like. Like this is literally me, which is why what I said earlier in tip number 1, it grows the know, like, and trust factor tenfold. So focus on showing up exactly how you are and stop waiting to lose 5 pounds. Stop waiting to, wait until your braces are off in 2 years. Like, I don't know. Wait until you're some idealized version, perfect version of yourself that's literally made up in your own mind, okay? Perfect is bias. I say that all the time in all of my copy and all my videos. So start now. Start imperfect. Start, sitting on the ground in your living room, having a live video, and then repurposing your content onto YouTube. And then when you start growing, you start gaining momentum, you see it's worth investing more time and energy into, then you can get the $5,000 production team. Then you can wear the tiara and ball gown. Then you can do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, start exactly how you are, because at the end of the day too, it's like, when you see like the Us Weekly, I haven't bought an Us Weekly in forever, but when they're like stars, they're just like us, and you see these people and they look nothing like how you thought they would look in real life. And you're like, oh, that person like looks like that. Like, I would have no idea, because we're so used to seeing them in like TV, or maybe they're always dolled up on Instagram, or maybe they always look a certain way. And it's like, do you really want people to perceive you as something that you're not anyway? No, right? Because that's quite frankly just exhausting. So just start showing up as you are. And I'm not saying that you don't if you want to do makeup, great, go do it. Like, I'm not saying you have, like I said, this isn't an extreme thing. It's not like, okay, show up in the back corner of a basement and don't put any effort in. You still want to put effort in, but it's like, you don't have to wait until you're some perfect version of yourself to start. Just start, okay? So the fourth content marketing tip that I have for you today, if you guys have any questions, always let me know in the comments. But the fourth content marketing tip that I have for you is to start, this is more specifically for business, is to sell through value-based content and trust, and not buy my product, right? That is over. Like, the whole faking it till you make it, you're going to notice that all of these tie together, okay? The whole fake it till you make it trend, the whole, I need this long sales copy in order for people to buy my product is over. And this is the reason why. If you're only relying on selling your products through ads, once the ad is over, your business is stalled, okay? But if you also tie into a content marketing strategy that relies solely on value-based content, you're going to realize that your stuff's going to start selling on autopilot if you're pushing your content onto search engine social media platforms, Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging, okay? And the reason for that being is because when you are giving out content that's based off of value, it's a win-win situation. You're showing people you know what you talk about, especially if you're on live video, which is what I said like 80,000 times throughout this video, okay? You're showing people you know what you're talking about. They learn something while you're showing up. Then the know, like, and trust factor grows tenfold. And then when you have a product that they need from you because they need a solution to their problem, guess who is going to be top of mind? You are, okay? Your product is more than likely not going to be top of mind in somebody's eyes if you solely rely on Facebook ads. Now, if you have like $100,000 a month, $1 million a month to spend in Facebook ads, disregard that message because clearly you're going to be popping up in people's feeds 24/7, okay? But when you start combining value-based content and then that grows the trust, you're going to subconsciously always be in the back of somebody's mind, okay? When they're looking for the solution to the problem and you potentially have a solution, okay? And that is only because you started showing up consistently, providing value-based content to help them succeed throughout their journey, okay? Now, I also did another video, which is free versus paid content. I'm gonna link that up here on YouTube because I know a lot of people are thinking like, well, I don't want to tell them everything. I don't want like people knowing all my like stuff because then why would they buy from me? And it's like I said, I'll link that below in the comments on Facebook and I'll link it up here on YouTube. Free versus paid content. What to do is free, how to do it is paid. I'm not saying give everybody a customized strategy that comments on all of your pictures, okay? You want to teach people what to do because then they know that you know what you're talking about. Because what a lot of online entrepreneurs do, especially new people, is they hold back what they know. And I'm going to tell you why that's the worst possible thing that you can do, especially in this competitive market. This era or this area or whatever you want to call it is getting more and more competitive by the day. Okay. So you need to tell people by showing up consistently with value-based content what you know, because if you only tell people 50% of what you know, that's all they're going to think of you as. Oh, that person only knows 50%, but the other person told me 100. Okay. And you could have known 100 too. You just have this limiting belief and fear in your mind where you're like, oh, I don't want to give away value-based content because, you know, people need to buy that in the program after they read that sales letter that I've been creating for the last 6 months. And it's like, no, that's not how it works in 2020 and beyond. Because if people genuinely want the answer, they can go and Google it themselves by now. Okay. If you haven't noticed by now, there's a lot of information on Google, okay? So what makes people pick you over Google or you over your competitor is that you show up consistently. I keep saying that word wrong. Oh my God. You keep showing up consistently with value-based content that tells people what to do. And sometimes maybe you tell people how to do it. Even if you're on a live stream and I ask you guys questions and you ask me how to do it, I'm going to tell you because you showed up on my live stream and you asked me a question, which is what I tell you guys to do, right? Even on YouTube, I will answer in the comments. But what to do is free, how to do is paid content. Like I said, I'll link that up there and on YouTube and I'll link it below in the comments on Facebook. But you want to start focusing on consistently delivering value-based content because when you do that, you're not so reliant on some third-party, paid traffic generator where when that advertising stops, your business stops, okay? This way is an easier way, especially if you post it on search engine social media channels, Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging. Your content lives forever and it's value-based. So they're always driven to the answer to their problem, which is why, one of the biggest reasons why I repurposed my Facebook Lives over onto YouTube, because YouTube is a search engine. So if people are searching for 2020 social media marketing or content marketing trends of 2020, like the top ones that they need to start incorporating with their business or marketing strategy, they're gonna see this video, okay? They might press play, they might not. If you're still watching, then you press play. So thanks for pressing play. But they're gonna press play. And when they do, they can do that while I'm sleeping. They can do that, 2 years later. I don't know why they would wanna do it 2 years later, but they're gonna do it throughout the year of 2020, okay? Because they're looking for this information. So that's why search engine social media channels are so important for a passive marketing strategy. So, all right, let's see your guys' comments or questions in the comments. Lyle says, agreed, this group helped me become more confident on Facebook Lives. Oh, thank you, Lyle. I'm so happy to hear that. Richie says, that's right, filter generation. Yeah, that's so true. That was my third tip, which was real over perfect content. And then Bridget says, love the idea of repurposing onto YouTube. Yes, seriously, like if your stuff is only on Facebook and Instagram, your content is not searchable. Could you have like a 0.0001% chance that your stuff went viral and it's searchable? Possibly, but did your stuff go viral? Probably not, okay? So that's why it's so super important to start posting your content onto social media search engines. Pinterest is a search engine, YouTube, Pinterest for pictures, YouTube for video, podcasting for audio, blogging for all of the above, okay? And written. So yeah, like I said, that was my top 4 tips. If you guys have any more tips before I wrap this up, let me know in the comments, especially if you're watching replay or YouTube or now. Like, if you guys have any more tips that I might have forgot, always add them in the comments. Like I said, this is like a collaboration project. I want all of us to succeed. So if you guys have any more tips, always let me know in the comments. So like I said, the 4 content marketing tips you need to focus on for 2020. Now, when I say focus on it, that means you need to start incorporating this for your business. Why? I kind of just explained all the reasons why. So if you're just hopping on now, go back and watch the replay. So the first one is live video and video, okay? Main reason for that, grows the know, like, and trust factor tenfold. This is me right now. Imperfect, sitting on the floor, like delivering my value because some of you guys need to know this answer, okay? I don't let my limiting beliefs hold me back from showing up online, okay? And I love live video because you guys can like let me know what you love, you guys can ask me questions, you guys can share the video around, etc., etc. So the second tip was contextualized messaging, okay? For the social media platforms that you are on. So what does that mean? That means you don't create one piece of content and just like share it around without any thought process about who is actually taking the time to read your content on different social media channels. So one of the examples that I used was LinkedIn, okay? LinkedIn is business minded. LinkedIn people, they want business advice, they want business strategies, they want the money, they want to grow their business, okay? Which is a completely different strategy than possibly on Pinterest, okay? Where people on Pinterest are searching for ideas, they're searching for inspiration, they're searching for how to do something, and they're searching to buy something, okay? So you can post this same exact piece of content. I'm gonna repurpose this onto YouTube. I always share on all of my social media channels, and I pin it onto Pinterest. So you can still share it onto every single platform, but just make sure that you're contextualizing the messaging before you present whatever you want to share. Okay, this is so super important because if the person reading doesn't feel like you are talking to them, they're not going to read it. Okay, I'm going to say that again. If the person reading doesn't feel like you're talking to them, they're not going to read it. Okay, so the third tip was sharing personal stories, micro storytelling over perfect content. Okay, we've already started to see this trend, but I think this is really going to ramp up in 2020, and I did the more specific video, again, related to live video. Live video is my favorite way to show up on social media. I show up, I share the information, I get to connect with my audience, and not only that, I can see what you guys love, you can ask me questions. It's just like wins all around. And you're going to notice in 2020 that a lot of social media platforms are going to start incorporating live video into their platforms. And there's a reason for that. People like live video. They love the realness. They love the authenticity. Everyone's sick and tired of the skinnier waist, the facetuned selfies, like the Kim Kardashian photo with the Oprah Winfrey copy, where it's like, I just flew on my private jet today over the Cayman Islands and I threw out money out the window as I was flying over the ocean, okay? People are done with that. it's not relatable content, okay? So this is another like tidbit with this, is that this is relatable content, okay? Remember, real over perfection. It's gonna seem weird at first. Because we're so conditioned, I feel like ever since Instagram started, which was like, I don't know, 8 years ago, we're so conditioned to believe that we need to be perfect in order to post a picture. And in reality, in 2020, like people are sick and tired of it, okay? So start focusing on showing up as real as you can. And I think to start, the easiest way to do that is through live video, because I know a lot of you guys are scared of starting on live video, but I think it's less intimidating to go on live than it is to just post, you know, maybe your first picture without any filter on it, okay? Because then you're waiting for validation from other people. Whereas when you show up on live video, you're so focused on delivering the content that you almost forget about what you look like because you're passionate about what you're talking about, okay? So your focus is more off of you than it is, like the content than what you look like is what I mean, okay? So the fourth and final tip that I had for you guys was starting to sell through value-based content over sell, okay? So what a lot of people do and what a lot of online marketers do is like, they'll be like, okay, you need this ad copy, you know, hook story offer, like blah, blah, blah. And then you go through and you have like this video sales letter. It takes you like 5,000 months to create. And then the problem with that is that if you don't have tens of thousands of dollars to push into advertising, your ad ends when you stop paying Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, etc. Okay? So if you focus on delivering value-based content that lasts on a search engine, Pinterest is a search engine, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging, people can search for your content 24/7, okay? And your offer could be attached to your value-based content. So for example, if I, did a video on Pinterest marketing strategies and people were interested in, deep diving into Pinterest for 2020 because it's a passive marketing strategy, I can link my Pinterest marketing course in the description of that video. And then when people see that link, they're going to click on it. Doesn't mean they're going to buy it, but they're going to know that that offer is there. I didn't have to pay for that at all because my content's on a search engine. Okay. So I just wrapped up the 4. If you guys have any questions at all, watching now, replay, or YouTube, always let me know in the comments. Even if you watch it and a couple weeks later, you're like, oh, I actually have a question, or I want to add a trend that's happening. Always let us know in the comments. And if you guys have any questions on social media marketing, how to grow your online business on social media, when I was talking about contextualized messaging, what have you, if you guys have any questions at all, always let me know in the comments, because your question could quite literally and anonymously be the topic of my next live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye, guys.